I was born in Grahamstown, Echini, and then I went to lower primary, high school, and then I did a radio course at Rose University, and I was also involved in drama. And then I moved to Joburg, hustle, tried my best to get into the industry up until I got to Durban, and then I was involved in small production. Okay, so I have quite a number of scripts which I wrote back in the days, because I used to go to library and I studied about film, I studied about writing, so I had a number of stories. So there was a shop back in the days which was called Kaya. So this was one SPAZA shop in the whole area that this guy used to run. And he was a funny guy, and people thought he was crazy when he opened the store. And most places we didn't have stores, especially SPAZA. So through his personality, not giving up and making sure that he was running his SPAZA, because this was the only one in his area. So one inspired to write about the script, and also inspired is the xenophobic attack. And I realized these stories here too are not really talking about what's happening in xenophobic. So I was like, let me write a script, not blaming Somali, not blaming anyone about the situation is xenophobic. Let me just have a story that will touch bases on maybe why Kubani is xenophobic attacks. So the story came about, inspirations were coming from different directions, because I'm a reader and I always am aware what's around me, and especially in a township. There's no way you can not talk about what's happening in SPAZAs, what's happening in Texas, what's happening so it's very important actually to touch bases on that. And it was inspired by this guy who owned this shop, Kaya, and it was inspired by the xenophobic attack that happens here. Okay, so the guy I was playing, Usamkelo, I mean, the reason I was playing the role first, you try to minimize the budget, because if you write a movie without a budget, you will write yourself in, because I want to spend the money to other guys. At least you want to minimize the budget. And also, I'm an actor. I grew up as an actor, so I was like, because now I'm working professionally, I'm not working as an actor, I'm working as a behind the scenes. It's a perfect opportunity when I'm doing my own thing to cast myself so that I can keep practicing and making sure that my acting skills, at least they grow each and every time when I shoot. And why not? Because I own the movie, it's mine, it's written by me, so why not? So Usamkelo is a guy who he was helped by Ubabunyati. His father was working in the SPAZA shop. He was studying also through Imani SPAZA shop. So when his father died, Unyati took him in and he gave him a job as SPAZA shop. So he actually helped the father and he's helping him. And now Usamkelo is able to help Iganzake Zutu, Noma Wake, which is very important because of the little that he gets from the SPAZA. Because remember, Usamkelo agafundanga, agayanga eskoleni, he doesn't have parents as corner. So he depends on Unyati, and Unyati is more of a role model. So that's why the role is It's different for me because I'm a go-getter. I don't limit myself, I don't box myself. So I would work as SPAZA, but I will see myself working in a supermarket, and I won't stay as SPAZA. Go to a supermarket, I will see myself owning a supermarket. So I think the difference between me and him is the fact that me, I think big and I go for it. With Usamkelo, he's more like accepting his situation, like saying, I'm going to stay in this situation because that's what he knows and that's the only life he knows. He doesn't want to go. So I think the difference between me and I learned, now I'm a go-getter. I go and I make sure I get what I want. My own opinion is the fact that death of SPAZA means shops owned by locals are dying. More and more Somalians are coming in. Now, the more you have Somalians in an area owning the economy in a township, obviously you're creating a situation where the residents will fight against them because they realize that they are no longer having power in terms of finances. So I wrote the movie on the basis that it's dangerous to allow anyone to come to your area and own the economy. Same as South Africa can't be detected by Zimbabwe. Imagine Zimbabwe owns most of its shares or most of the economy as South Africa. Obviously, as South Africans, we're gonna beat anyone outside in South Africa because they own the economy. So I feel like the more less of the residents as Kalabuma Township owns their SPAZA shops, the more opportunity for violence. Because we're gonna feel like, okay, these guys, they come, take our women, take our shops, Abanye, they are owning taverns. Now, what are we left with? Not because of we don't have skills. Back when Abantu can run these shops. You can start your own shop next to Somalia. What they do is they will drop down the price because they are competing with you. And when you don't have, you have a lot to lose because you stay around there, you need to feed your family. But now they have friends and business partners. So when you own your own, then it means you're fighting this person because the source of income, the funding comes from his friends. But when you only have an income, a SPAZA shop. So it will always create a confusion and also a violence between the two. Because it's a competition, because we all compete. So that's why now I say death or SPAZA, it means more and more abantu abamnyama who stays in Lokshini, who grew up in those areas, are losing out on the economy which comes from SPAZA shop. And obviously, if we don't deal with that, we're always going to have this xenophobic attack happening because we feel like these people are invading our own spaces. So that's why we need to talk about these issues. That SPAZAs, as small as they are very important. Because some have been educated through Imali, Eyenzo, and SPAZA. Okay, so this guy is now angry because of Batate Umtanake Semngane. Now it happens that family owned a shop, so now he was left with the shop. So his anger towards Somalians is only the fact that they took his baby. But now when you watch a movie, you will think that the fight between them is about the shops, but it's not really about the shops. And another thing that you're gonna learn from the movie, this guy has a young girl, Nongulego, and Nongulego is a dreamer. She doesn't want to own his SPAZA shop. She just wants to go to Cuba and become a doctor or work there, and she has a vision. So there's a clash between a father wanting to leave a legacy to a daughter, but the daughter doesn't want to be part of it. So there's a lot of things that are happening that you're gonna learn. And the movie is not really about promoting xenophobic or anything. It's all about human stories and the stories as in the guy election. And I wanted to move away from mama stereotypes because most movies, when we write, we want to stick on stereotype. So this is not a stereotype kind of a movie. It's a movie where you learn and we're not promoting a violence between black people. We have a kid who wants to university and she's done. We have a guy who owns a shop and his legacy is making sure that the store survives. And we have these Somalians who are willing to help, who are willing to work with this guy, but because of now this guy has this problem and this challenge of having a daughter with a Somalian woman, and now he can't have access to his kids. So we also have this debate now. I have a kid with a Somalian. Am I allowed now, since I'm a black person and I'm staying in a township, to have that kid? Because most of the guys have relationships with our own women. So it's a problem now when it comes to a point where Unyati doesn't have access to have his kid and making sure that he's safe. So we're just trying to bridge a gap between the two. And we need to know sometimes why it's easy for them to date our women, but for us to date their women, it's a problem. So we also want to have that kind of a debate so that we can get to understand them, where they come from, and they can understand where we come from. So that we tackle the xenophobic attack from the basis, not from the surface, because we may think xenophobic, but if we get to understand the feelings behind, then you will understand why there is xenophobic attack. Because this guy wants the child, but I can't have access because of bayamvalela, they are not allowing him. So you're gonna learn a lot of things at different topics at the same time. Ogogo nabo, you know, their only source of income is grant, and that grant can only be managed ngokuthi uthenge SPAZA shop. So they keep the economy flowing elokishini by using that grant money to educate and also to support the SPAZA shop. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot of things and you're gonna learn a lot of things about what SPAZA shop is about and also what township is about. So we're promoting ilokishi more than SPAZA short kwamashu, but the storyline happens in Mlazi, but we cheat and shoot Guamash. But what you're gonna see in the movie, you will see our establishers as Mlazi, and you will feel like you're Mlazi. Yeah, last words is support the movie, guys. It's gonna come out soon. And it's out, you need to make sure and you go and support. We'll just make sure that it's accessible on social media. We'll have it on YouTube. I might try to have a premiere on Facebook so that people can access it. We'll just have a secret code or something that you can access with. Please support, because the production doesn't have money. We shot this out of no budget, so it's very important for future projects. You at home, whoever is watching this, please support us. The more we shoot movies, the more you guys gonna have content, because without you supporting us, we won't be able to have the content. So the only thing we need is you watching the movie and making sure. And we're also gonna submit the movie to international film festivals. So we're hoping we're gonna get recognition from there, and hopefully awards, local awards. We're aiming to get those. But through your support, we can only get those successes. So please watch the movie and support us. It's Lelako Productions and also Luzu at Facebook, Lelako Production Instagram, Lelako Production on YouTube. We'll post a lot of things on social media.